Hello you guys! It is Thursday, July 27th, 2017. My name is Doris and this is the Knit and Purl Podcast, episode 130. Welcome new and returning visitors or viewers. Thank you so much for spending some of your precious time with me. If you find anything of inspiration or entertainment, please click on those things down below. The subscription button, the bell so you get notifications, give me a thumbs up, all of that, and I would thank you so much. You can find the show notes for the podcast on knitandpurl.net. And on the show notes, you can find links to all of my social medias. On Facebook, on Ravelry and Twitter, I am One Fine Cow, all spelled out. On Facebook and Etsy, I am the #1 Fine Design. And on Instagram, I am Doris M. Smith, all lowercase and schmooze together on Instagram. So please go and follow me in all of those places and I will follow you back. This podcast has a Ravelry group, which is the Knit and Purl Podcast group, also linked in the show notes and in the down bar below. Okay, show notes now. This podcast, we have the Ravelry group and we have the Ravelry group birthday shout outs, and we have birthdays this time. Let me get I tried to do all of my, here we go. Here is the show notes and the funny glare. So birthdays from July 27th through August 10th. And we have Linda, who is Linda. Her birthday is August 1st. We have Miss S. Green, who is Sarah. Her birthday is on the 2nd of August. We have Elle McCole, who is Linda. Her birthday is on the 3rd of August. We have Maria Wilhelmina, and I'm sorry I didn't probably pronounce that right. And her name is Marriott, and her birthday is also on the 3rd of August. And this Dove Knits, who is Christina, her birthday is on the 8th of August. So, happy birthday, ladies. I hope that you have a wonderful birthday, that you get good gifts, that you get to spend time with friends and family, and that you get to do what you want to do on your birthday. If that means sitting and knitting all day in your pajamas. What a wonderful day that would be. And eat birthday cake because it's your birthday. So if your birthday fell in this period and you don't share your birthday on on Ravelry, happy birthday as well. So that leads us into the leads us into our knit along, crochet along, which is going through the whole summer, June, July, and August. It is a knit along, crochet along. The rules are that you must be a member of the group to qualify for prizes, and June prize has already been awarded, so July prizes is a needle cozy from Thank God for Bags and a set of my stitch markers, and there's a grand prize that will be rewarded. I can't speak. There is a grand prize the end of August after everything is done. The first podcast after the end of August, there will be a grand prize awarded, and that is for the person who knit the most or crocheted or used the most grams in June, July, and August. Also, if you have whips that didn't get completing it in June or July, those whips that turned into faux can be used. For example, if you didn't finish something in June, you can finish it in July and post it in July. If you didn't finish something in June but you finished it in August, you can post it in the August thread. I hope that makes sense. I posted a video on last week for the clarifications of this, so And I showed the prizes then, so if you want to go back and look at that, please do. I will show the prizes again next episode, so I'm not going to show them this time. Okay. So July prize will be by random number generator. So please, triple dip, double dip, everything, because I know that a lot of people are participating in a lot of knit-alongs, crochet-alongs, so put those in as long as they were started in June, July, or August. Put them in if you finish them by August 31st for a chance to win a lovely project bag and some of my hand spun. So just knit small and large. There must be a completed project with a project page to count as an entry. Happy knitting and happy summer. So the story of the week and stash enhancement. So I got my bag from Thank God for Bags. It is a beautiful Route 66 bag. It's one of those long square bags that you can, with snaps, so you can fold down the top and you could use it square bottom. And this is what caught my eye. I'm from Missouri. Missouri, there you go. You can't hardly, I don't know. Anyway, I love it. Thank you so much, Sheila. And it's got a handle with a key ring thing that you can hook it to something else. There it is. Go check her out. She's awesome. And one of her bags will be a prize for the biggest, or the one who knit the most grams. So, story of the week, not really. Since the last podcast, we went on a camping trip. We left Friday, came back Sunday with the two of his children came with their kids, and we had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Then we also celebrated a lovely friend's 70th birthday last Saturday. I've been doing some knitting and some crocheting. And the regular stuff, you know, work, housekeeping, cooking, that stuff, you know. So I wanted to share a little bit. I don't want to dwell on it, but last time I podcast, if you notice, it was a little disjointed and stuff. Here's what happened. I had filmed the whole podcast. I had taken the card out of the camera, went to my computer, and I have a Mac, and it has slots here and here. The top slot is the CD, and the bottom slot, very small slot, is where you stick your card. Well, I was like, okay, let me get this done. So I went in and I put my card in the CD slot. So after about an hour of trying to get it out, I had to go to Walmart, buy another card, and record the whole episode again. So, whew, technical difficulties. Anyway, that's the reason that it was kind of disjointed last time. So, and that's all we're going to say about that. So, Health Pearl this week, knitting. I came across a article. Scientists say knitting makes humans warmer and happier mentally. So there's a lovely article. So, you know, you can tell your significant other you really need to knit so that you can be happy and be healthy mentally. So, anyway. They did a study. Let me just try to read a little bit. Elizabeth Zimmerman says, proper practicing, knitting soothes the troubled spirit and it doesn't hurt the untroubled spirit either. So they did a study. Knitting is good for mental health according to some research studies. The Washington Post mentioned in 2013 a survey of 3,500 knitters who were asked how they felt after a knitting session. Over 80% of them said they definitely felt happier. It is not a totally feminine occupation, as more and more men take it up and get some benefits. Harry Styles from One Direction enjoys knitting. So does Russell Crowe, although he does it to help his anger management. So there's a big long article, so please, if you are interested, click on the link in the show notes and go over and look at it yourself. So that's the health pearl. Okay, so let me go back to the show notes. So that just brings us to faux. And I have a good faux this week. First of all, I finished a couple granny squares with leftover yarn. Trying to see, make sure that it. So those are 2 more granny squares. I think I have a total of 9. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Something's going to be done with them. So the other finished object, the big finished object, is my Suki shawl, which is, I'm trying to keep this down so it's not so bright, which is a free pattern on Ravelry by Aspen Knits. The yarn is a Karen cake. The color is Cherry Chip. The needles work Chalgu US 9, and I used a 47-inch circular, which is a good thing because there was a lot of stitches. So when I finished knitting this project, I was not happy. If you know me at all, you know I like big, roomy, big Afghans. I want my shawl to be somewhat like an Afghan that I can wrap around my shoulders. So when I finished it, it was smaller than I anticipated, and I was not happy. I'm like, let me just soak it, stretch it out. I aggressively stretched it. It's got wool in it, but it also has acrylic. So after it had dried, while it was still pinned out, I went over it again with a steam iron to block it, to keep that acrylic from bouncing back. And the end results, I am very, very pleased. So why don't I just show you, right? I love it. Oh my gosh. It is so pretty. I'm going to show you the middle. So pretty. Mine, most of the people, I looked at progress pages and most people only did 9 repeats. I did 11. It's beautiful, wonderful. I love it. And this seems to work really well with Karen cakes because of the way the color does some beautiful stuff. It's wonderful. And let me just show you it on. Oh, just how I want it. And I can reach around and pull down the back, and it's at the middle of my back, maybe at my waist almost. Not quite my waist. But it is beautiful, and it will keep me warm and comfortable, and I'm so very happy. So I recommend the pattern. Go get the pattern. It's wonderful. I'm going to try to keep it on for a while. The next thing is whips. What happened? Sorry. Whips. I don't really need that except if I need to tell you. a new crochet project. So I wanted to also say that it seems to me that I have regained a love for crocheting. For the longest time, I could take it or leave it, but I've got, well, just 2 crochet projects. This is a new project I started on Saturday. It is a free pattern by Make and Do Crew. It is the Campfire Cardi. The yarn I'm using is a Karen Jumbo Baby. The color is, here, this little piggy. This one. This one. It's pinks and grays and whites. I love it. And I just started it, okay? So you start by making 2 hexagon squares. So it looks like this. And then you fold it somehow. Not like that. And this is part of the top part of the cardigan, and you make 2 of these. This is obviously not my size yet. And then you sew them together, sew up the seams, and then you add length to the bottom, you add lengths to the sleeves, and then you can, or you may or may not want to, but you can add a hood. The Campfire Shawl. Let me see if I can pull up the pattern here. It's very cute, and oh Lord, I'm making such a mess. The Campfire Cardi, I'm gonna click on it and bring it up. It's very cute. I hope you can see it. And there's a tutorial. Very cute. So, this is going to be a long-term project, obviously, but let me get this back color right. Okay. It's a little dark in here. I hope that that doesn't affect the quality of the video. But I can record it again because I've done that in the past. Okay. So, that is that. It's going to take a lot of yarn. I just got this 1 ball, so I'm going to be having to go back and get more. And it's in my my fast squirrel bag. And I am using a J hook for a little more drapiness to the fabric. I started it on a smaller one, but I ripped it out when I realized it wasn't what I wanted. So 1 crochet project. Yeah. The second crochet project in my bag from Thank God for Bags. Beautiful pinky flowers with the sparkly pink. Anyway, I have the stripy granny stripe blanket, which is a free pattern on Ravelry by Lucy of Attic 24, and I'm using just leftovers worsted weight yarn. Right now I'm using the leftover Karen cake from one of my modified cozy blankets. So before that, white was where I was last time you saw it, and I have a few more. So from here up, we've done about 5 or, well, let me see, 6 rows of that. And who knows what this is going to be. This is also going to be a long-term project, and maybe sometimes you won't even see it because I won't have worked on it. But right now I'm so enjoying the crochet. So enjoying it. And I'm using an H hook on this one. Just avoid H hook. I don't know what the numbers are. I think H is actually an 5mm. Yes, it is. And this is, again, avoid. Looking down. Okay, next I'm going to show you the big one in Cascade yarn bag. Is the double triangle shawl stripe that you saw last week. I'm using some yarn from my surprise stash. Let me just hold this up and show you. I balled these up because they were starting to felt on themselves, and I wanted to use the yarn. I'm trying to get which one? The orange. I believe both of them are the same thing because they look the same as far as the ply and everything. It's Cascade Yarns Eco Plus. I think they're both that. An orange and a dark gray. I'm using needle size US 10 40-inch circular. I'm using my stitch markers. My progress keeper. Okay, hang on just a moment. Bear with me. I'm going to bring this closer. I'm struggling here. Here you go. There's the progress keeper. Oh, an emoji. That's not how I feel about this project, however. I love it. That's where I was last time. You saw it. So I have completed a goodly amount. That's where I was. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. A lot of rows. So it's just in garter stitch, and I'm just striping the colors up, and it's just going to be a nice cozy, appears to be, it could be a unisex. It could be a guy or a girl wearing this, wrapping up in this. So there it is. That's 3 projects. So okay, I'm gonna take this off. I'm so sad. I love it. And I'm moving around and we're not getting. There we go. Now you can see me. In my bag from Thank God for Bags. It seems to be, well, not all of them are this is my Taurus bag from Thank God for Bags. I'm trying to get that where you can see it. Beautiful little sock bag. I have my cowl that I'm just like knitting and designing as I go, just for me, to use this beautiful yarn that I got as a birthday gift from a lovely viewer and friend a couple years ago. I tried to make a sock with it, but that didn't turn out. Heritage Prints. And the color is a number. here is the object. I was where the pink thing was the last time I showed it. There you can see it. So I am now I'm working on garter ridging, the garter ridge, and then, so I did 3 pattern repeats of this, what do you call it, basket weave type thing. And then now I'm finishing up. I'm doing this part over again at the top. So probably next time you see it, it'll be a finished object. And we'll see how it worked out. It's lovely, I love it though. This yarn is squishy and lovely. It is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. The needles I'm using, I think they are 3s. Yes, US 3, 3.25 Addi Turbo, 40-inch circular, and I'm knitting this magic loop. That is that project. And my last project is, oh, I love it so much. It's called the Summer Loving Wrap, which is the free pattern on Ravelry by KEF Knits. The yarn is Loops and Threads Impeccable Big. The needles are a 10.5 Addi 40-inch. No, the 10.5, they're not Addis, they're just some cheap straights that I got from Walmart years ago. So anyway, I don't need to show you the needles. They're just, but here is the project. It's beautifully lovely. I absolutely love it. I'm so excited. Here's where I was. And do I have a yes? That is how I feel about this project. I love it so much. That's where I was last time, and I have done, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 pattern repeats. This is a wonderful pattern. The thing about this pattern, when I first started it, as a left-handed knitter, I had to switch some of the knit 2-togethers and slip stitch knits. I had to make them opposite since I'm not knitting this way like right-handed knitters are. I'm knitting this way. So I had to do some adjusting in the pattern, and there for a while I kept messing up, and I had to sit down, type out the pattern according to the way I would knit it, and then knit it from that pattern instead of... Anyway, I plan on doing a left-handed knitter series, and soonly. Anyway, this is the last knitted project, and I love it so much. I can't wait for it to be done and blocked, and I can wrap. This will be my fall loving shawl. Okay, that is it of the works in progress. So let's go on to spinning. I'm still working on the spinning, and I'm also filming a I am filming, I'm putting together a from fiber to yarn little video. So that's still in progress. So the Pinterest this week. If you can't stand the mess, stay out of the craft room. We ain't got time we're busy crafting. We don't have time to like straighten up. We're busy. We don't have that much time to craft. Says most people who craft. And stumble. I found a stumble, and I left a comment on the Never Cast Off podcast because Sheila said she couldn't make slippers for her mother because they would be slippy and she would fall. And I told her, put some hot glue on the bottom. So I found this 5 clever hot glue gun hacks. To start with, you can put it on a clothes hanger to make it a no slip, so your clothes won't fall off. Well, what are you doing? So your clothes won't fall off of the hanger. You can, here it is, use hot glue to make your slippers non-slippy. And this one has, she put their name on the bottom of it with hot glue. You can put little dots, you can do whatever, but it'll keep those slippies, those slippers, knitted slippers, from being too slippery. Also, you can do that on rugs to make them not slippy. You can use it to label, put labels on painted like jars and stuff, and this one shows, if you can't, I don't know if you can see it or not, there's a love. Somebody drew it on and then painted over it. And finally, if you have children who use the tub toys that have holes in it that water gets in and it's hard to get out and it gets too stinky, glue up that hole with the hot glue gun. There you go. Okay. So, I think we're done. That is it. At the end of the show notes and at the bottom down there, there is a link to my Etsy store. Please go over, take a look around, like a few things, and if you find something that you just can't live without, I would happily sell it to you and send it to you out as soon as possible. Thank you so much, and I will see you in 2 weeks for the next episode of the Knit and Purl podcast. Bye. Happy knitting, everyone. And crocheting. And crocheting. Okay.